Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for that. So I'm hope everything is good with you guys. So last night I did a podcast on the carnivore diet, and I had a few questions from people that asked me following my Facebook Live. So I wanted to cover a few concerns here when it comes to eating meat. A lot of people are concerned because we've been told for the last 50, 60 years that meat, animal protein, animal fats are the main driver of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and so on and so on. You can see the picture. But a lot of these different ideas were based on fake science. They were not based on actual scientific data. Actually, today we know that animal fats, animal proteins are not causative factors behind cancer, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and so on. As a matter of fact, there's 5 big meta-analysis supporting that animal proteins are safe to consume. And it has been part of our life for generations and generations. So it doesn't make sense to claim that animal proteins is now suddenly, although the last 40, 50 years, is causing all those problems. It just doesn't make sense. And there's a few concerns about that. Of course, we need to make sure that if you do eat meat, that it's good quality meat, right? Grass-fed, pastured, organic, no GMO. The animals shouldn't be vaccinated, and so on and so on. So it's always important to make sure that the animals that you use for meat is as clean as possible, and they were fed the right way as humanly as possible. I'm not a fan, and I do not support conventional meat when they treat animals like totally crazy. So I do not support that, and they inject them with hormones and steroid and all those chemicals. So it's really sad to see those animals actually. So a few questions that arise from eating meat is, first of all, is the gut microbiota. Okay, a lot of people are concerned about the gut, which makes sense because we know the gut is the root cause of all those different issues we talk about. And they believe that you need to eat fibers, you need to eat vegetables, fruits, nuts, and so on, and plant-based sources in order to feed the microbiome. So in this study, they look at vegan, who they don't eat any animal protein at all, and meat eater. And they look at the microbiome of these 2 different groups of people. And this is a really nice study because it is a randomized clinical trial. So they use us to look at the microbiome. And they do not see any difference between vegan and meat eater, not at all. So which is really interesting because people would believe that if you eat meat, it could disrupt the gut microbiome, leading to inflammation and so on. At least that's what has been hypothesized. But based on this article, there's no connection, okay? The gut microbiome can adapt really quickly and really nicely to the type of diet that you eat. And that's why we are mostly omnivore, so we can eat as many different types of diet that you can, and you can be well. Okay, that's why some vegan are really healthy, some people are carnivore really good, and everything in between, because our gut microbiome can adapt and adjust really, really quick over a few days, a few weeks to the type of food that you eat. Okay, so eating a meat diet does not lead to what people believe an inflammatory pattern in the gut microbiome. It just does not. Okay, based on this and other studies. So that's one concern addressed. So eating meat does not impact your gut microbiome. What can impact your microbiome is the quality of the meat, like you said. If you eat meat that has Roundup in them, steroid, hormones, all kind of chemicals, that can disrupt the gut microbiome. Like eating vegetables and fruits that are not organic, that are sprayed with herbicides and all those chemicals, that can actually kill your gut microbiome. So, and then you can consume collagen. Collagen is so powerful, and collagen is one of the best prebiotics for your gut microbiome. Okay, people believe that we need to eat vegetables and fruits and all those different fibers to feed the gut microbiome. You don't have to. You can use collagen, gelatin, which is really, really good to feed your gut microbiome. As a matter of fact, I've been carnivore for months myself, months and months, and I use collagen as a source of feeding my gut microbiome. And when I do that, actually, my gut has improved, and you feel better, less bloating, you just have better bowel movements, and so on. Okay, I've talked in the past about fibers. We don't necessarily need fibers to get the gut moving, but we need the good, healthy microbiome, and you can do that either way by consuming vegetables fiber or with collagen, which is a good source of probiotics. And another concern that somebody brought up to me is oxalates. Okay, one of the reasons why the carnivore diet is really powerful to help healing the body and the gut is you avoid eating oxalates. So oxalates, when you look under the microscope, they look like small pieces of glass. They're really sharp. And foods like spinach, broccoli, the greens, chocolate, we have a lot of oxalates. So when you consume those foods, they can really stress your gut and gut microbiome. And that's why people do so well on a carnivore diet, because they cut out all the oxalate sources. Okay. But when you do that, you could go through what we call an oxalate dumping. So your body will start detoxing all the oxalates out of your body. Because over time, the oxalates accumulate and build up into different parts of the bodies. For example, 85% of thyroid issues are caused by an oxalate buildup. Okay, so if you cut out those foods, the spinach, the greens, in which we've been told to eat, consume because it's healthy, a lot of women actually will end up with thyroid hormone when they eat too much of those sources. So when you stop eating those greens, those veggies, those sources, your body will start dumping oxalate. It's a normal reaction. Sometimes people will go through a crisis like a rash. Okay, typically people will go through when they go through oxalate dumping is they will have rashes in the body, like eczema light. They feel itchy, rashy, and then it goes away. Okay, so if you have any concern about that, you have to make sure that you work with a practitioner who knows about oxalate and how to deal with them to make sure that your detox pathways are open. Because if your pathways are not open, you start detoxing the oxalate, and the oxalates may not be flushed out. They just may be recirculated into the body, causing other issues. So that's why people sometimes warn this kind of diet, because you can go through a rough time if your pathways are not open. So you make sure that you work with a functional medicine doctor, a practitioner that understand how to move the oxalate out. Because some people will just go cold turkey, they go carnivore overnight, and they feel a little bit worse. If you stick with this a few weeks later, you're fine. So there's no problem at all. So that's not a lot of concern for me. I don't really see a lot of reactions, but oxalate is definitely a big concern when it comes to healing the body. So look into that. You can Google it, the source of oxalate. And typically those sources are the food that we've been told to eat because they are healthy for us, like the green, the spinach, okay, for example, the chocolate. A lot of those foods sometimes need to be cut out the diet in order to allow your body to heal itself. And then when the body heals itself, you may be able to add some food back. Some people cannot. Some people can. Everybody's different. Okay. I know there was a lot to cover today, but at the end of the day, going to a carnivore diet, a meat-based diet, it's really powerful to reboot your metabolism and your immune system and start feeling better. Oftentimes when people do that, the improvement is within a few days, sometimes a few weeks. So it depends again, but it's rather quick. So don't hesitate to give it a try. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys for watching me today, and God bless you.